Hello and welcome. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how the water got connected to the house and how much it was. So here you can see the city came out and they started to dig the hole. And you'll see in a second, they brought their supervisor with. And this guy was the cutest supervisor I ever seen. So check this little guy out. He's a little bit afraid, but he warms up here in a second, you'll see. So that guy's gotta probably love coming to work if he can do that and just bring his pup with him. But basically, they're digging down to find the pipe, and it's about 3 to 4 feet down, something like that. You'll see that in a second. And you see the blue pipe over there. That's it. So they're gonna cut into it in a second, and then it's just gonna go from there, and they're gonna give me water. So this water connection was $1,340. So I'll repeat that again. It's $1,340, and it basically the water, the meter, you'll see that in a second as well, gets hooked up, and then my responsibility is to hook up from the meter to the house. And see, that's the little supervisor. He did a good job. He did a very good job. And by the way, I love dogs, absolutely love dogs, and I would love to have one, but I'm not home enough. And see, he warmed up to me. He's just sitting there. He got hot in the sun, so he's kind of trying to catch some shade. I forgot how old he was, 2 months, 3 months, or something like that. But but that's basically it. So for a little bit over $1,000, you get water to the house. I could have done a well, but I try not to do wells with my builds because they are not 100% that you're gonna find water and the quality of water. And wells tend to be expensive, so just keep that in mind. A well can run you anywhere from like $5,000 to $15,000, so that's a big expense, and it's kind of like playing gambling because you're not quite sure what you're gonna get with a well. So here, the house is going to be on city water, and that's usually nice and simple. So it depends what city you live in. This price is going to vary for you. Here, like I said, it was a little bit over $1,300, but I built in other cities next to me, and it's could be $1,500. One city is almost $2,000, so it all depends basically where you are. So here, see, he's waiting. I guess he was on break and he's waiting to get back to work. That's such a cute little thing. But like I said, I love dogs. But see, that's the pipe. That's how the water comes into well, you'll see in a second what's happening. You see the fan, by the way? That's what I did for the guy, since this was a very hot summer in Georgia. So I kind of gave him some breeze, and he loved it. Like nobody ever did that for me. And see, here's the water. So easy breezy. These guys were done with this for about an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour. So it wasn't actually long at all. So see, they put that on there, then they drill into it, and then they attach the hose to it. And then he's the other guy on top over there, he's gonna attach the meter to it right there. So that's it. That's all that's to it, to hook up water to a house. I mean, it's very simple. I've read and I've talked to people, and I know these things, depends on the city that you live in, can cost $5,000, $10,000 and more for the city to come out and give you water. And that is just insane. I mean, this is, like I said, this is literally an hour of work for these guys. They came out, they did the job, and it was nice and simple, and they did a good job. I had no complaints at all. I mean, it was nice and straightforward, and here you'll see in a second how he covered everything up, and it's like almost like nobody was ever there. So they did a good job, very good job, and that's all that is to it. So for $1,300 you can have water. It just all depends, like I said, where you live. So just keep that in mind. Building a house, that's what this channel is about. If you do it the right way, if you are in the right place, and so that's the most crucial thing, you'll be able to afford to build yourself a house. But if you live in a city that, how do I say this? I don't want to get too political because it's, that gets crazy. That's not what this channel is about. But certain cities and certain parts of the country, things are just way too expensive. And it's literally just not affordable. I was watching Kristen Dirksen's channel about a week or two ago, and she had an episode where somebody was building a house in Canada, in Toronto, and I looked up the lot prices in Toronto, little city lots, like less probably than a quarter of an acre. It was $1 million. $1 million for a city lot, and this house was a skinny house. You can look up that episode that I'm talking about. It's Kristen Dirksen's channel, and it was like 12 feet wide or something crazy. It was but it had 3 or 4 stories, and that house was $3 million. It was insane. But see, this is what I meant. You could barely tell anything got basically done over there. So that was $1,300, and now I just gotta get the plumber to come out here, and he's gonna do his job from the water meter here to the house, which is pretty much a straight shot. And I told the guys to put this basically right here, just so I can run the water straight to the water heater. Literally, it's just a straight shot, just a couple of feet. And that's how I usually do things. So that's what I was talking about, $1,340 for the water connection fee. Well is gonna cost you a lot of money, so if you can stay away from a well, you know, hook yourself up on city water. If you have the money, I preferably, if it was my house and I had the money like that, I would actually love to have a well, because well water is a lot better than city water. So if you can be on a well and you can afford it, do it. I mean, the water is almost sweet. I mean, it just tastes so much better than the city water, which has got chemicals in it and all that stuff. So it's just completely different. So this is kind of, I was here before. This is in Clayton, Georgia, and this is Lake Burton. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. And this is the episode I did for the cabin. I was talking about the lot price, and I just decided to come back even though it wasn't such a nice day because it was cloudy. It was kind of drizzling a little bit, but still, I just like nature, so I figured I'll take you guys over here and show you this. So it all depends where you live. You might have to make some tough decisions like I did. A couple of you guys emailed me and are starting to get in touch with me, ask me a couple of personal questions and things about building and that kind of a thing. So I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. I had to move away from my friends, my family, and move down to Georgia. I had to leave everything behind, because in Chicago, I just couldn't afford to buy something or build something the way I wanted, because everything was astronomically high pricing wise. Lots were expensive, the city connections were expensive, all the permits, everything was just ridiculously expensive. It wasn't feasible or affordable for me to do. So I just had to make a tough decision, a tough choice, and I literally left everybody behind, and I decided to move down south. And I absolutely love it here. And now if you wrote me a check for $1 million, I would not move back. I honestly would not move back. I absolutely love it here. And I'm gonna live here, and I'm gonna die here, and I'll probably be buried in a red clay dirt somewhere in Georgia. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful area. The cost of living is completely different. The taxes are completely different. The people are completely different. The weather is completely different. Where I am, crime almost doesn't exist. You can see the night sky, the stars in the night sky. You got fresh air. You got no traffic. I mean, there's so many different things. I absolutely love it here. And when I'm not doing anything, I can come to places like this, a public park, and just spend some time, breathe some fresh air, and then just enjoy myself, and just kind of drink in the views with some peace and quiet. And I don't have to worry about my car's getting broken into, getting my windows broken because somebody wants to take something off my seat. Like I said, over here it's just a different world, and I absolutely love it. So I just wanted to show you how this works, and tell you a little bit about my situation, since a lot of you guys have been asking me. I guess you don't want to ask on the comment section, and you emailed me directly. So that's the reason why I decided to show you this stuff. But other than that, next episode is I'm going to finish up the kitchen and show you how that all came together. I'm going to also show you how much I paid for the countertops, because I got countertops installed. So I'm going to work on that episode and post it for you and show it to you once again with all the pricing, just like I do on this channel. just so you have an idea how this stuff works. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.